The city of Glendale is excited to announce its inaugural Women's Equality Day event, Mix, Mingle, and Empower, taking place on September 9, 2024 from 5 to 8 p.m. at the courtyard of the historic Alex Theater. The event is dedicated to celebrating and advancing gender equality and empowering women. It will feature distinguished speakers and networking opportunities. As noted by Mayor Elen Asatryan, when we uplift women, we uplift our families, our children, our businesses, and our entire community. We rise together right here in the heart of Glendale. The event will conclude with live music, refreshments, and networking opportunities with city, regional, and state officials, business leaders, and like-minded professionals. And we're here at the entrance to the famous Alex Theater with Madam Mayor Elen Asatryan.
Thanks for having me, Arshaliz.
It is really exciting, first of all, for me as a woman, as a professional woman, and you being the first Armenian woman, if I'm not mistaken, to be a mayor of the city, and also you are the daughter of immigrants. The list goes on and on and on, right? How significant it is to put together an event like this.
So I'll say I'm really, really excited. For those that don't know, Women's Equality Day is both to honor and celebrate the fact that 104 years ago, the women in the United States got the right to vote. So it's really a celebration, but also a recommitment to women's rights and issues relating to women's health and women's policies. And so this is the first time that the city of Glendale is putting together such an event. I'm proud to have initiated this. And of course, that with anything that you initiate as part of the city council, you always have to have at least 3 votes to do it. And I'm proud to say that the support for it was unanimous on behalf of my colleagues. So we'll be having an event that not only allows women to come together to network, but the kind of resources we're bringing to women here in the city of Glendale. And the reason that that's important is because regardless of how we're seeing women rise to different leadership positions in different fields, the truth of the matter is there's still a huge gap in all of this. I'm proud to say that Glendale is also the 7th city in the state of California that has taken the California Equal Pay Pledge, which means that we're going to be looking at our internal processes and the various structural barriers that may be present to help rise up women to different positions. One of the things that I've been very adamantly outspoken about is not just the policies that we create, including things like how we support women when they're pregnant and introducing things like family leave or even childcare on campus in places where it's really, really expensive for families to have childcare, and how you can provide a supportive system through government to make sure that your families are thriving, and most importantly, like in this case, women are thriving, because at the end of the day, while we may be blessed in many ways that society has shifted, a lot of that burden still comes on the women to take care of the children, right? So how you're supporting them in their different avenues to be successful. And one way to do that is to bring in the Small Business Administration. We're going to have the head of the Los Angeles SBA at the event. We're going to have our Human Resources Director from the City of Glendale that's going to be present, our Economic Development Department.
Networking, panel discussions.
So it'll kick off with me and Supervisor Barger, and then it'll go into panel discussions. There'll be 2 panels. One will be talking about employment and contracting opportunities with the City of Glendale. If you watch any council meeting on Tuesdays, we give away many contracts, but how we make those contracts accessible to minority groups, to women's, and of course our locally owned businesses is really, really important, and something that's very near and dear to my heart. And so the first panel is going to really be talking about that, as well as policies that can help shift and uplift women. The second panel will be the head of the Small Business Administration of the Los Angeles office, as well as our Economic Development Department, as well as the California Equal Partners Project. That panel will also be discussing different opportunities that are available through the Small Business Administration. Many people don't know, but our Economic Development Department in the City of Glendale has a concierge service. So even if you're looking for a space, in the city of Glendale. You don't have to go to a realtor to do that. There's many services that our economic development department
So you go
provides.
through City Hall?
Yeah, or if you actually own a business already, our economic development department can help spotlight your business as part of our social media campaign and so forth. So there's a lot of services and fantastic programs that are available for entrepreneurs, small business owners, and just women in every field. And just making those accessible to women is the point of this event, and as well as making sure that we get together. After the two panels, there will be live music, an opportunity for networking. I'm also working on putting together a group of special guests that will be reaching out to whether it's Crusoe or Disney, and having some female executives from various institutions to also be present.
Great. I'm excited because women's empowerment is on your agenda. Women's empowerment is on every agenda nowadays, and I think it was high time.
It is. So, and I think one thing that people, aside from being the first Armenian women or the first immigrant women, I had the honor of actually attending the Women's Athletic Club of Glendale's 100th anniversary just a few days ago. And I actually spoke about the fact that in the city of Glendale, I'm the 7th woman in the history to be elected to the city council. There's something wrong with that when you look at it, right? Like historically. The first woman that was elected was in 1957, and she was born 102 years before me. So between her and me, there's only been 5 women council members, and how we uplift women in different spaces to ensure that we have proper representation. Because the more diverse any representative boards are, the more constructive and more creative the policies become. I'll speak to even something that's very minuscule, right? But one of the first things I noticed when I got elected to the city council was the women's bathrooms didn't have menstrual products in there. And truth be told, had I not been female, had I not been of age, right, I perhaps would have never gone into the women's restroom to notice that was missing. But also having these conversations that in society seem to be still taboo, but they're health issues. They are everyday normal issues that impact women. And so very similar to childcare on campus, very similar to family leave, which also, when I incorporated adoption and miscarriages, because these are things that women don't talk about and families don't talk about, but it impacts them, right? And if you want to be a city that is not only preaching from the dais or from a microphone, these things, how you incorporate those into your policies as a city is important, because when we uplift women, we uplift societies, we uplift children, we uplift families, and we uplift our own economic development in the city.
So being 40-something years old and being female has a lot of advantages.
It sure does.
For the city, for the city, right?
It does, and I think I've always said this. Whatever you are, you bring to the dais with you. And as somebody that loves the arts, that loves music, that loves
life,
hiking, and I loves life. I do have, right. I truly have a love for life. When you are active in those things, you also notice all the missing parts in your city, right? And so I always say, if I was somebody that just went to work and then went home, and then have this like love for life, I wouldn't notice all the little pieces that are missing. That could make our city better, that could help. As a small business owner myself, I'm also very in tune with the needs of small businesses, and in all the ways that, especially being somebody that comes from an immigrant family, and I was born in Armenia myself, so moving here, there's so many resources available that people just don't know about, and this event is about connecting women to those resources.
Wonderful. Looking forward to September 9th, and I'm sure you're inviting everybody.
September 9th, 5 to 8 p.m. And then people can RSVP at glendaleca.gov/women's equality. And of course, our city handles are at My Glendale. So if you want to get more information, you're more than welcome to visit the website or the social media panels.
Thank you, and looking forward once again.
Thank you.